All right, happy Wednesday. I received some of your drawings from the other day. So, this is the one we did together. So, I asked you to try and pick a different one, maybe eye color or skin color or tall or short, and see if you can label them correctly and figure out who got what gene from who. So, I received some of those. You guys did an excellent job. So, we're going to practice one more time today on this just to make sure that you really got it and just to kind of have fun with it. So I am going to do the eye color one. So if you didn't quite get this one or understand, we'll do it together now. If you've already done this one, that's fine. Maybe while I'm drawing, you can do eye color and then try and mix and match with something else like tallness or hair color. Okay, try and do two at a time to challenge yourself. So you can still come along with me on our little journey here and do your eyes, but maybe add in another component if you feel like you want the challenge. Okay? So if not, just stick with the eyes with me. All right, so again, I'm going to start in the middle of my paper, and I always start with mom and dad first. Okay? So we're just going to do two heads. And actually, I am going to, let's see, so my dog's barking. I'm going to do some hair just so they don't look funny. But for me, I'm not actually worried about what color the hair they have. If y'all are doing hair, then you need to mix and match. But just so they don't look funny with just eyeballs, I'm just going to do brown hair for everybody. Okay, so that doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and give Dad some brown hair. I'm going to give Mom brown hair. Okay, but we're not doing hair, so don't worry about it. I'm just doing it so they don't look weird. Okay, so we're going to do eye color. So I've got my blue and then my brown as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give Mom blue eyes. And we're going to give Dad brown eyes. Okay, who's dominant and who's recessive? Right, Dad has dominant dark eyes. So Dad's a D. Oops, I used brown. It's okay. Mom's an R. Okay, she has recessive blue eyes. Let me make them a little bit bigger so you can see them really well. I feel like they got small eyes. Let's make them have big eyes. Give them some big old eyes. My markers are flying away from me again. Okay, it was better. Okay, they're going to have some kids. How many kids should they have? How many kids? 4? 4 kids. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to give them all brown hair, remember? Because we're just so they don't look funny. So it doesn't matter what their gender is. So I'm going to do a girl and another girl, and I won't leave you boys out, and a boy. Alright, 3 girls and a boy. Whew, that poor boy. Okay, what color eyes should all of these kids have? If it was just Mom and Dad and we didn't look any further, what color eyes should all these children have? They should all have brown eyes because brown is dominant and it always shows over the recessive. But there can be a but in there. So one of our kids, or 2 of our kids, whatever you want to do, is going to have blue eyes. So this little girl has brown eyes. This little boy has brown eyes. This little girl has brown eyes. And this little girl has blue. Okay, make sure you're labeling your D's and your R's. I'm going to stick with brown since I messed up and didn't use my neutral color before. So the first girl I have with brown eyes, so she's a D. Oh, no she's not. She's a D and an R for Mom, so she has a hidden recessive trait. So she's a D and an R. Next little girl has brown eyes, so she's also a D and an R. The next little girl has blue eyes. So the only way recessive gene is going to show is if there's dos. So which means she has to get one from mom and dad. So she has two what? R's. No D's. Alright, and then our little boy has a D and an R. One from mom, one from dad. Okay. Now, the only way this little girl has the two R's is if mom has an R and dad has an R. Which means we already know mom's R. We already see it. But dad has to have a hidden recessive R that we don't see. That way this little girl can get the two R's that she needs. So let's look at grandparents. Alright, we're going up the family tree. So dad has a mom and a dad. And mom has a mom and a dad. We're going to give them brown hair, remember, just so they don't look funny. All of them. So dad's mom had brown hair, dad's dad had brown hair, mom's dad had brown hair, and mom's mom had brown hair. Remember, we're not doing hair unless you're somebody that's challenging yourself. Then yours is going to look different with the hair, if that's what you chose to do. Okay, let's look at one at a time. So we already said dad has a dominant, obviously, because his eyes are dark, but he has to have a hidden recessive gene. So one of his parents has to have brown eyes, but one of his parents has to have blue eyes. Doesn't matter who has what. Nope. So I'm talking about dad. So we'll do mom with brown, or grandma with brown, and grandpa with blue. Okay, so dad's parents. Let's label. So grandma's a D, grandpa's an R. Alright, so dad got one R and one D. But that R is hidden until he had a baby with this lady who had recessive color eyes, and they got this little girl. Alright, how about mom's parents? So for mom to have blue eyes, how many recessive genes does she need? 2. And she has to get one from mom and one from dad. So she has 2 R's. So that means both her parents have what color eyes? Blue. Now, could you go further and further up the family tree? Sure. You sure could. You keep going back. Great grandparents. Okay, if you made one of these with brown eyes, then you could go even further back to figure out how mom got 2 R's, just like this little girl got 2 R's. Okay, so you can make this a lot more challenging on yourself. Okay, so if this is too easy, then try and mix and match different ones that we've already talked about together. And then if you want to, you can even go back further. Another challenge that you can do for yourself is try and do more plants, maybe like flowers, or try and do an animal or animals. Okay, so like for example, if you have 2 orange cats and they have kittens, and all of the kittens are orange except one is gray, how did that happen? Okay, and see if you can figure that out. So remember, we're not always just talking about people. So offspring can be plants and animals as well with genetics. Okay, so pretty much anything that's living and that can reproduce. So challenge yourself and try. If you want to send me those pictures, if you're not quite sure if you got it right or not, you can send me those pictures and I'll help you out and give you some feedback on those. Otherwise, just have fun with it, and we will probably start a new lesson tomorrow, and we'll be working on some ecosystems. So some of you have already started on ecosystems, and that's fine, or maybe you're even done, but I still want you to check out the videos because there's going to be a lot of good information, and you might even go back to some of your work that you've done and change some things in case you got it wrong. All right, but keep sending me your work, and let me know how you're doing, and I hope you guys are enjoying these videos, and I hope that they're helpful. All right, have a good rest of your day.